On this episode, we're recapping a jam-packed weekend that had a little bit of everything, including high-speed thrills, delicious bites, and a brand new nighttime parade lighting up Main Street, USA. Today's July 29th, 2025, and this is episode 793 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys, make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. All right, so we just got back from a work-filled, fun-filled weekend, and we're going to talk all about it.
Yeah, we sure did. We went down specifically to do some things. Mm-hmm. Really, that being Starlight and
yes. Test track.
The new test track. So that was the whole reason we were going down. But we came across some other things that we're very excited to talk about that just kind of worked their way into it.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna do like a walkthrough of the weekend. We're gonna kind of just go section by section, and we're gonna start with some different sweets and treats that we had. Mm-hmm. First, though, we did so. Here, we'll paint a little picture real quick.
I started to say, if we do, we have to kind of tell like what we were doing. Because
that's what I'm thinking. So I don't want to walk through the weekend, but our 800th episode is coming up, which is insane.
It is insane.
It's like the last Friday, something like that here in August, about a month away. And so what we did is both of these days that we were there, we resort hopped the deluxe resorts, and we recorded a segment in the lobby of each of these deluxe resorts. Mm-hmm. And so
then we were hungry.
And we started at TTC where we parked.
Yep.
Because it is a real easy walk, especially for two folks that are used to it.
Yes.
Right over to Poly.
Yep.
And we sat in the lobby there.
Yes.
Then we made our way over to Grand Flow, and that's when the hunger came in. Did it not?
When we were at Grand Flow?
When we were heading to Grand Flow.
Oh. I'm like, yeah, because that's when we, like he just said, we stopped at Walulu. And we just got the Masubi and had the non-alcoholic drinks that they have, which is the athletic beer. And then Jeremy loves the non-alcoholic with the Liars.
The pina colada.
Pina colada.
Yep.
So I kind of wanted to try, again, the ahi tuna crisps. But we just got the Masubi. But I did ask, because just like Yak and Yeti, and Rachel taught us this, you can sub chicken instead of tuna. So I asked, and our awesome bartender, oh no, I can't think.
Tommy?
Think of
there or
his
somewhere
name.
else.
Anyways, he was like, you know what? Let me go check on that for you. So he came back and told us that they can do it. But here's the hard part. So the whole thing is $17. And basically you would need somebody, because they can put the tuna on the side. You need somebody that likes tuna and somebody that likes chicken, because they can add the chicken. Then it makes it for a $26 dish. Yeah. But they cannot take it off.
There's no sub.
There's no sub.
Yeah, there's no protein sub. So you couldn't just say, like at Yak and Yeti, I don't want the tuna on the ahi tuna nachos. I want the chicken.
Correct.
And they do a substitution here. They will not do that. So they're literally, you're paying, the $17 for the tuna crisps. And then you're paying another $9 for like a side of teriyaki chicken. What he did say, though, what I thought was interesting, I thought he said, well, we could just put the tuna on the side.
Yeah, which was
It's an interest. So the only thing I can think, and there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to say this episode that I just thought. It doesn't mean any of them are true or accurate, but things just come to me, and I don't always go and say, let me research every little detail about why they're doing this thing. My guess is those are price differences. You know, the price difference between tuna and chicken thighs is probably pretty decent. Mm-hmm. What's odd is that the chicken thighs would be cheaper, so it seems like they could just say, yes, we can substitute chicken thighs, but it's the same price. You know what I mean? As opposed to going, well, I want chicken thighs, which, by the way, they don't cost as much as tuna, so why don't you give me a couple bucks off? Like, I just, it's weird.
Now
I think
that
it's weird
makes
to not
sense. But yeah,
sub
I
that.
agree. I mean,
and the chicken thigh is available in several other dishes. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's maybe one dish or something that they're not constantly prepping or preparing.
So the whole point is we were not ready to make that investment and try it because I was not wanting the tuna. Like, it would have been, if he'd have said yes for the same price.
Yeah.
I would have completely gotten it.
You would have been eating a bowl of tuna then, for the most part.
Right. And I could have, we could have done that. And that's what's really cool. If you do have somebody that does like the tuna, and then, like Jeremy's brain, I am fine with tuna. Jeremy cannot right now. I don't know why. Texture, look, all the above, which is fine. But maybe we'll
do it next time.
Yeah.
We'll 100% do this next time. If we don't make it there before September, and we're basically going to live there in September when we go with Chuck and Amy to the tower, I think we definitely do that. Yeah. And actually, it'd be fun to do it with them one of the nights, because then we can all kind of try that. You know what I mean? At least there's somebody else to help you with the tuna.
Correct.
They'll eat it. So, so we made our way over to Grand Flow. We recorded. We made our way to Contemporary and recorded for that day. While we're at Contemporary, we did stop into the gift shop right there, which they have a whole selection of treats.
Yes.
We talked to the wonderful Maddie there, and we went with 3 treats. It was going to start as none. Right?
Yeah, it was. And then it was super funny because I saw new, and I pointed, and it was the cutest thing. I kind of wish I was videoing or something, because Jeremy was adorable, because I pointed and he finally read peanut butter and jelly some more for $6.29. And I mean, he looked like a little kid. His face lit up. He was very excited. It was super cute. So this is made with graham crackers and marshmallow, peanut butter and strawberry jelly with a chocolate covering, of course, the whole coating. So
$6.29
dipped in chocolate, of course.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about them as we go.
Okay. We ended up eating these later in the day at our room.
Yeah, back in our room. This was good. If you have had the peanut butter and jelly Reese's cups that they have out now, I will liken it to that, where the jelly flavor is very, very mild.
For some people it might be very good.
That's what I'm saying. For you, an example, it might be good. There were some bites that you got that it seemed like there was some more jelly, and then it really hit you like, this is a peanut butter and jelly s'more.
Right.
This is good. I would get it again simply because it's still delicious.
Yes.
If you took the strawberry out, it's still good. If you took the peanut butter out, it's still good.
Right.
If it was just a s'more,
and for
that's
$6.29,
it's a pretty good little treat. Right.
Yep.
So what was the next one, I guess, then that you
saw? I saw this, and I was like, we need one of these too, please.
And by the way, these are not going to be available at every single place that has sweets, but they are available across property. Yeah,
because we saw
I know we saw a bunch of these at Zuri's in Animal Kingdom over there in Harambe near Kilimanjaro.
We also saw them through the boardwalk.
At the boardwalk.
When we went there.
Yeah, so I bet a lot of your deluxe resorts that have these sweet cases are going to have them. They do not have them at the Values, at least not at All Star.
Correct.
For sure. So,
and the next one is a banana s'more for $6.29. It is made with graham crackers and marshmallow and a banana flavoring with a white chocolate coating. I absolutely loved this. I was very sad because it was gone. I went to eat some more. So I will get this again if it is here the next few days, because it was white chocolate. It is that different banana flavoring as opposed to actual banana
flavoring. Yeah.
Like a runt.
Yes, it's that kind of banana flavoring.
Good, though.
It doesn't taste like a banana. It tastes like banana flavoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. This would be something I'd love to see somewhere like the ganachery do, where they
do
make their
actual
s'mores
bananas?
and do actual banana in it. As a you could still even do the white chocolate coating and all, but put actual bananas. You could even put candied banana slices in it. Just say, but with not being that, I thought this was great. If you have ever had, I think it was Little Debbie that probably made them, the banana moon pies as a kid growing up, they taste exactly like that.
Nice.
Because I ate them until I didn't ever want to eat one again growing up, because my dad, I know I've mentioned Price Club. If you grew up north, Costco ended up buying Price Club. So if we told my dad we liked something, he would buy like a pallet of it from
You kind of
Price
get
Club.
that from your dad.
I do a little bit. Well, here's the thing. Now I'm learning, because every time we find something at Costco we go back to get it and it's gone. So now we've been buying multiple of them just in case. I don't know if that was the situation, but I told my dad once I like banana cream pies. Next thing I know, he actually built a extra pantry in our basement to house his Price Club purchases.
But that makes sense.
It does.
I mean,
but he bought, when I was in like 10th grade, he bought enough banana moon pies to last me the rest of my high school career, pretty much. So by 11th grade, I was so sick of them, but I didn't have the heart to tell my dad, because we had a closet just filled with them. So
Didn't you give them to Beth?
I gave them to Beth Beninati every day for lunch for about 2 years. So anyway, well, strange story aside, they did have one last one, because I was ready to go.
And then I
you
saw
were
this.
like, hey, there's another new treat. Let's just across the board get everything
I was very
they've got.
excited because it is a strawberry Mickey Rice Krispie treat for $5.49. And it basically looked like the Good Humor strawberry ice cream bars.
Yep.
Because it had that topping, it looked
And it was a Mickey shaped Rice Krispie treat, but they still stuck a stick in it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, again, a lot of the ones you buy, the wrapped Rice Krispies that'll look like Mickey, but they don't have a stick shoved up in them.
So good. I really like this. I was sad because there was leftovers and Jeremy threw them
should have been in charge of
away.
packing up we brought home so many leftovers.
But still, he threw it away. The girls would have loved it. Just for them to have a bite or two. But anyways.
I enjoyed it. Somebody hit me up on Instagram and said, does it taste like the Good Humor strawberry shortcake bars? I said, yes.
Without the ice cream.
Correct. So yes, it is that. It was if you took the ice cream out of one of those and all you ate was the exterior coating.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Good.
I thought it was great.
Yep.
I did too. It was really, really good. So I would recommend any 3 of these treats. Let's move on to caramel couche, and they have a new one that I didn't think was new. But then we ate it, and then I think maybe it is new, but now I'm still not sure if it's new. What is it?
Well, they always have the Werther's Original caramel sandwiches, cookie sandwiches, and they just swap out, the name for gingerbread, they have a snickerdoodle one. And, of course, this is Werther's Original caramel snickerdoodle cookie with the sandwich for $7.79. And of course, you get your pass holder discount there. There was also a caramel birthday cake that was new. We got one of those.
What was the other item?
And then
the strawberry
butter bar. Yes.
Yeah, strawberry caramel butter bar.
Yes, and that
strawberry is very popular. Right?
It was, and it was good. That had oatmeal though in it, so it didn't
I didn't care
taste
for that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
We probably as people would not get that again.
As opposed to what else as people?
I mean,
as opposed to what else would we be?
Well, I mean, as us people, not like okay, I wouldn't say. I would not say to not get it. I would say
to the human race in general.
Yeah.
If this is something you're interested in, you could probably purchase it.
And if I'm not saying I didn't like it, and I wouldn't. I just for us, we are not, okay. Leave me alone, man.
Stitch, would you eat this as a dog? Because we as people,
yes, he would.
We as people would get this.
Not get this again.
No,
we also got so the caramel birthday cake I really liked a lot.
I did too. It was one of those I bit it at first and I'm like, this is just caramel with sprinkles in it, and then you're like, okay, that's cool because it's delicious.
I think
to me it was the most lackluster attempt at creating something new.
But it was good.
But it was amazing because their caramel is just second.
And I would get that again.
Yeah.
And then we were over one last sweet treat. We were over at Springs. My brain was not thinking. Disney Springs. And of course, we went to Salt and Straw only because they had a brand new strawberry shortcake waffle cone.
Yeah, they did.
And
like we weren't going to go there anyway.
Well, I don't know that I would have, because this was our dessert though after we went to the Edison, and we'll get to that. But
yes.
Talking about the sweet treats, they had that. So I got the blackberry birthday cake, and I thought with the strawberry shortcake would be good because they're both berries. I thought it was very good. The only part, unfortunately, was I didn't get to eat the cone by itself. So it, to me, was just a really good combination.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, I can't go, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this every time. But the guy behind the counter was like, this is my favorite one that we've made so far. He was explaining like the taste of it. And I think, unfortunately, what I got, I feel like what I should have done in something like this is I should have just gotten straight plain vanilla.
Yeah, I was going to say, or like chocolate.
Or something like that.
I agree.
Something where it doesn't almost overpower the taste of, because it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know that. Yeah, again, we didn't eat the cone by itself, and I got something that paired with it as well. I don't know if you got one of theirs that doesn't sound like it would pair with strawberry shortcake, if it would ruin it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like you said, I'm not sure, but it worked well with mine. I went with the vegan banana bread and strawberry jelly.
Which usually you don't like those because you don't feel like they're very creamy.
So the last vegan one I had like a year ago, it wasn't creamy. It was icy, and understandably, it's vegan. It doesn't have real dairy or anything in it. But I go to Salt and Straw for that crazy, creamy, delicious ice cream. This had it.
Good.
You would have never guessed it was vegan. And again, it had strawberry jelly flavor in it, which paired well with the cone. So, yeah. I liked it. I like that they do these different cones. And I honestly didn't know that you could get straight scoops of some stuff until I overheard them telling the people in front of us. Like, you can get a straight scoops, it sounds like, of just vanilla. I didn't know that.
You didn't?
I thought everything was funky flavors.
Okay.
How did you know that information?
Because I think I read it.
Oh, I just want to get a scoop of vanilla next time.
Okay.
I actually do want it because they have toppings. Like, I might get a
Yeah, I just started
cup.
saying, you can make
I know.
stuff. You can make your own.
I know,
like,
and
funky
we just never
thing.
we've never done it. I don't know why. All right,
Because,
I'll do it
well,
next time.
because they have a lot of different things that we're always trying.
This is true.
So,
where Rhonda mentioned the Edison before we move on. So we tried something this weekend. We did basically, we recorded our meal at the Edison, audio.
I just started saying audio.
So we recorded audio, basically from the moment we sat down to the moment we paid the check and left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that into one, episode, which will come out Friday. So it'll be kind of like a air quote live dining review. And we'll see how that goes. And if you guys like it, please let us know. If you don't like it, let us know.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then it's something we'll look at doing more. We didn't do it for any more restaurants we're going to talk about here, because we wanted to try that one and then see how it goes. Yep. So, but let's move on to Sleepy Hollow. Ended up being our dinner Thursday night as we waited for Starlight.
I just started to say, we headed over to Magic Kingdom because we were going to watch Starlight and Happily Ever After. So we were super excited, but we really didn't have much else to do. So yes, we were those people starting to look for a seat 7, 8, 9, about 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
We were heading towards Main Street, probably about between 6:50, because we were sitting when we were looking for a trash can. And we were sitting on the side, what is that, curb.
Yeah.
Right next to a trash can and right next to a rope that by the time we sat, there was really not much room for anybody else, to be honest.
One girl sat down next to me.
She did.
Who came over and was polite and was like, may I sit there? And it was just her. And it was literally the three of us between rope and trash can.
Yes.
And this area, and even on the other side of that walkway that they make, would have been great. Any of those four corners. And this is basically the section that is right in front of, if you're facing the castle, to your left is Casey Corner. And
50
to your right,
feet away. Because
it's
we'll
50
talk.
feet away.
We'll talk about that in a second.
To your left is Casey's Corner. To your right is the plaza and ice cream. And then they create that walkway through the middle, which will always stay open. So if you can position yourself in there somewhere, it just, again, there aren't people all up against you. Mm-hmm. So
there's people behind us.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that try to sit in front of the trash cans, like, just, I think, blow me away.
Or it would just like meander right in front of us.
Yeah.
Like
what,
kind of like
we're
seeing
gonna
how
move?
they could
What?
just scoot in. You know what I mean?
No.
So.
And we sat there for 2 solid hours.
We were 2 hours.
2 hours. Because
Yes.
I remember looking and I was like, what time is this? And we were sitting. We found our spot. We're like, this is perfect. Let's go ahead. And we're not going to move. And I was like, holy crap, it's 7:00. We have 2 solid, not like maybe, an hour and a half. No, 2 solid straight hours.
Yep.
So obviously, we were sitting and just hanging out, and then we were going to eat. And Jeremy wanted Casey's Corner, and he wanted like a chili. You wanted a chili
cheese dog and some fries.
So
and a frozen mint julep.
Saw somebody eating a corn dog, and I was like, I want one of those. Well, they only have at Casey's Corner the mini ones. Well, I wanted the big one. So that is actually over at Sleepy Hollow. It is a hand-dipped corn dog served with house-made chips for $11.49. Now, mind you, when we ordered, we had our seats. We could mobile order, and all somebody had to do, Jeremy or I. Now, mind you, also when you pull up on like mobile order, it shows how far away like it is. And Casey's Corners was 50 feet.
Mm-hmm. It was.
And I mean, you could see it. Like, it was literally right there.
Oh, I
and
could throw a rock at it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeremy felt like all that ordering 2 separate places was too much for 2 hours.
Sound like you're mocking me.
So I'm sad for you, though, truly, because
listen, have you met me before?
You didn't get what you wanted. We both got a hand-dipped corn dog.
I just said, okay, that's fine.
Chips.
I said, I'll just get a corn dog as well. I guarantee there are people out there listening that will agree with me. That is a lot to worry
really not.
about.
You could have brought that
separate
back
mobile
and
orders
I would have
to go.
gone.
I know, but again, I'm me. I apologize for that. But yeah, so and again, I wasn't like I had to have Casey's Corner. You really wanted a corn dog.
Well, because I saw somebody eating it.
Yeah.
And this corn dog was daggum good.
They're good.
I absolutely loved it. I would get this again.
Yeah.
The dog, was so juicy and
they're all beef hot dogs.
So good.
They're the absolute best. I think they're a quarter
large,
pound.
very large.
Yeah, I think they're a quarter pound.
And I felt like the breading was nice. It wasn't too thick.
Yeah.
It wasn't where it was overpowering. It wasn't burnt.
Yep.
I absolutely loved this.
Yeah.
The
nice
only
slight
thing,
sweet flavor to it, to the corn batter.
The only
and
thing
all.
I was sad about is, like you said, there was no fries.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that there. You have to get these chips, which
But
are
they're
good.
the best. They're the best
good.
house-made
Yes,
chips you can
they
get.
are.
They're delicious, and you get a ton of them.
And we got a no sugar Minute Maid.
Yes. Yep.
So
yeah, it's a good corn dog. I honestly, at that point, we could have split. We figured, I was like, we should get 2 corn dogs, and then by the halfway through yours, because they're hefty.
they are.
They really, really are.
You ate your whole entire one. I almost did, but I had 1 bite left. And I just was like, I don't want to be sick.
Yeah.
And we still have an
still
hour.
and we still had a tub of Starlight popcorn, which is the
we
special
gotta talk
popcorn
about
right
that.
now.
Mm-hmm.
That's outstanding.
Yes, it is.
We went and saw that. I am bouncing around some.
We
because
saw Edward.
Yeah, we met up with Edward,
Small World.
who is one of our wonderful listeners and has become a friend of mine online. We had not met in person, so we met up with him.
Very nice meeting you, Edward.
Yes, wonderful. So glad we finally got to. And then we walked with him over to Main Street Confectionery, and we got the popcorn and all. And then he had to head out, so we said bye. But prior to meeting up with him, we did, believe it or not, even after riding it 17 times on April 11th, we rode Small World.
Oh, yeah.
Because they went ahead and they released the never before released final verse from the Sherman Brothers in the finale scene. What did you think of it?
Well, I had to really listen.
You really do have to listen.
But then when I really had to listen is when we were coming into it. I feel like when we were towards the end, it was like, I'm like, is it louder in here too, where everything is? And then B, I could hear it and I was like, oh, okay. And like it was a little clearer and I really like enjoyed it. So it was cute.
Yeah. So what it is, and I think it truly gives a good finale. And because of the words. So the words are, Mother Earth unites us in heart and mind, and the love we give makes us humankind.
Yes.
Through our vast, wondrous land, when we stand hand in hand, it's a small world after all.
Aww.
Like, to me, it's just a good way to wrap up
that's cute.
the entire thing.
Yep.
So kudos to Disney. I feel like we're getting... and again, you can say what it is, whatever you want to say it is. If it's a response to something, I don't care. But we're getting a lot of little touches, I think, from Disney finally that felt like they were not paying attention to for years.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's something like this, whether it's adding something like this, or it is fixing the chasing lights on Slinky Dog at night, which are now working again. Portions of, no, we don't have our cannons working again yet over at Rise, but they are over at Disneyland. So maybe, like, I just feel like there's some of the things that you used to, in the past 5 years, you looked at and you were like, Disney didn't used to let this stuff slip. And they did for a couple years, and I feel like now they're back to really paying attention and getting all those tiny maintenance issues fixed.
Well, and I hate to say it, maybe a lot of it had to do with COVID, and they just were
100%. I'm
not
sure.
having them work.
Yeah.
And was like, we'll get to that when we hire everybody back, and maybe they finally hired everybody back.
Yeah, well, and at that point too, you have priorities. You know, when you're still sitting on stuff like a 5-year build of Tron, you know, your priorities are there in turning Splash into Tiana's and things like that. They're not on, you know, hey, that light, the little lights aren't twinkling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. But all right, let's talk about Disney Starlight. Dream the night away. The all-new nighttime parade. We have not had a nighttime parade in a very, very, very long time since Main Street Electrical Parade. So super excited to see this right now. It is at 9 and 11 every night, which is great.
Yes, it is.
Because Happily Ever After is sandwiched in between at 10, which is wonderful. Because if you want to watch parade and then fireworks, do it. If you want to watch fireworks and then parade, do it.
100%.
And you don't have to even move your spot.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But here's what you're getting in the parade, which runs a reverse route. So it is not like Festival of Fantasy, which starts over there by Tiana's and ends by the fire station. This starts at the fire station, ends at Tiana's. Again, my theory is that it makes more sense.
It does, though.
It makes more sense to start it at the front of the park, because now as the parade passes up Main Street, if those people want to leave, they're at the entrance, they can start making their way out.
100%.
The problem with it, you know, if it starts in Tiana's, as soon as it starts making its way through Frontierland, all of those people then are now trying to exit the park while everybody else is still waiting up front for the parade to end, so it would just be a mess. So that's my guess. But we get these floats: the Blue Fairy, Wish, Encanto, Frozen, Royal Princesses, Coco, Moana, Peter Pan, and then we get a finale float, which includes Mickey, Minnie, some additional princesses, things like that. Where do you want to start? You just talk about
I'll
this.
start with my bubble wand.
Oh, yeah. Talk about your bubble wand.
I bought the Starlight bubble wand that lights up and interacts with the parade. Yeah. First of all, I love the bubbles because they are the smaller ones. They're not the very large ones.
Look like Snope.
A little bit. Yep. And I just absolutely love it. It was super fun. Mine actually died, the one that I bought. And they were so kind and sweet enough to just replace it and give me a new one. And it was right before too. They the parade started. So I was like, Oh, thank God. Because
they interact with other ones too, correct?
Yes, they do.
So it wouldn't be like they only interact with
Correct.
the parade.
100%.
Yeah, those were super cool.
It was. I was very happy to get it. And so I'll have to bring it back when we watch it again. But now, besides it interacting, I thought this was absolutely stunning. It was the Main Street Electrical Parade on steroids. I mean, it was...
I mean, modern day. Yeah, really.
It was bright. It was gorgeous. Between Frozen and the finale, because of Tangled and Flynn, which is Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, were probably my favorites.
Yeah.
But every single one was my favorite. Does that make sense? Like, it was just... It's what Disney's been needing at Magic Kingdom.
Yes. And what I thought was amazing, well, first of all, you're right. Main Street Electrical Parade was just classic nostalgia.
Yep.
And this brings some of that. Like you said, I mean, again, it is kind of like Main Street Electrical Parade on steroids, but even the soundtrack has those bits in that feeling of Electrical Main Street Parade, like the soundtrack.
Well, and I love the soundtrack because there's not like songs and where then all of a sudden you're going to try to compete with Happily Ever After.
Right.
So it is literally perfection to me.
It was so good. And each float, it gets better than the one before it somehow. And like you said, they're all amazing. So each one you're like, this blue fairy float is insane. Look at the wish float. That is, look at, like it's just nuts. The same, sometimes you just catch something the way it is meant to be, right? Mm-hmm. I think of our first time walking in a dark universe. When we walked through that portal, the way we came out, the way we turned, the way the music crescendoed, the way that smoke, just like everything was perfect. Mm-hmm. We caught that on the Moana float when Grandma comes up out of the top, like the timing and everything.
And we sat for the whole parade.
Yes, we did, which was another great spot of being there right on the curb.
Yep.
It was just, every float was insane. And none of the floats looked like Penny was pinched. You know what I mean? Like you get down to the finale float and it's this giant train. Mm-hmm. And it's just stunning. And their use of screens, projection, lights, music, everything is so good. That Frozen one with the fractals of ice all behind her, Elsa, as Elsa's on in front of you, and then behind are these images and scenes. I thought it was insane.
I thought it was amazing.
Two things as I sit and I think about it that I would say are my only negatives. One is too short.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I really wish it was longer because it's so good. What I think would make the shortness feel better is they tried really hard to bridge the gap between floats by putting in some entertainers with like a little light up flower on their head, or I think there needs to be more between the floats. When you think about Festival of Fantasy Parade, you have entire scenes and entertainment happening and offerings in between each float, where this one just didn't have that. And it's nighttime, so you really got to bring your A game because you have to rely on lights.
Right. And I'm sure they could add it because every single thing, like every princess had lights in their dresses.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they could still work on, other characters having more lit up stuff. Yeah. And then, but I mean, again, as of for right now, because your floats are such the main focus, I think them taking their time and sewing and working on and then adding stuff, and then you're like, oh wait, ooh, this is added, this is added. I think that's very possible and probable.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So
as they get guest feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how those things go. So I loved it. I'm so glad. And this is here to stay. This is what it felt like to me. It felt like we had purchased tickets to some form of after hours party, and this parade was a special entertainment for that party only. Yep. But no, folks, it's ours now.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom has this now every single night,
excited.
and that's amazing.
Yep. It is. I loved it. I agree wholeheartedly. I look forward to seeing it again and then doing it exactly how we did it. So it was super cool because we sat for the parade. And then after that, we literally just stood up. And then I leaned against the trash can because you can. Yeah. And then stood there. And then it was nice because there wasn't too many people in front of me because there was trash cans, which are nice and shorter. Yep. And I was able to see a little bit better and more. And again, I'm on the curb. Jeremy was in the street. So we were almost like I was taller without standing on anything, truly. And then we just flip and watched Happily Ever After. And that was just a wonder. And then once we did, as soon as it was done, we just turned around and walked out. Yeah. And it was just wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you still had a Starlight at 11. Mm-hmm. Magic Kingdom wasn't closing till 11. So even we got out, a bus was waiting. Like it was a perfect night to do those things. Yep. And back to back those, even if you go and you watch the parade first, because chances are the 11 p.m. Starlight is going to have less people at it. You know what I mean? And less children, perhaps. So
probably
just something to think about. So another main reason we were here and why we would be rope dropping Epcot on Friday morning was Test Track 3.0, opened a couple days prior.
Yep.
Because we have been gone weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend, and then we had one free weekend in between, which was your birthdays, yours and Lacey's. We did not make it to any pass holder preview or anything like that, so we were going to go and fight the crowds like normal 2 days after it opened. So we went ahead, rope dropped Epcot. You can get this on Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, and I could have actually up to the night before, but it would have been like 8 p.m., and that just wasn't going to work with our plans. But if you don't want to worry about rope dropping, it is Lightning Lane Multi-Pass. There's no virtual queue. There's no single pass. It's either this or it's either standby or get your multi-pass Lightning Lane.
Yeah.
So we got up that morning. My plan was to make it to the bus stop around 8. We made it earlier than that.
We were getting off at Epcot at 8.
Yeah, at 8, which was amazing. So by the time we went and scanned in, you go to the right now for those early entry because we're still going to be ahead of early entry. And we were doing that at, a little after 8. So we actually walked up and got in the line for Test Track at 8:10. Okay. So, and here's why I say all this, because from the moment that we left our resort to the moment we stood in an actual line for the first time is like, that's where I'm going to start the time that we waited. You know what I mean? Because in between, we were constant. We kept doing things. We were moving. We were whatever. I say this because I still think there are people that want to get there at like 7:30 in the morning and be the very first people on a Test Track or a Cosmic Rewind. And when they get off, they go, I only waited like 15 minutes. You go, yeah, you waited 15 minutes once you got in the actual line for the ride. But you waited outside for an hour and a half.
Right.
So you really waited an hour and 45 minutes.
Right.
Right. So we get in the actual line at 8:10. They open at 8:25. 8:30 is the normal early entry.
Right.
And I love the way now that they are allowing people to go to lands and areas for these early entries.
Yes.
As opposed to just holding you like in front of Spaceship Earth like they used to.
Right.
And then it just being a real free-for-all. So they opened at 8:25. We got inside the building, so we were a large portion of outdoor queue, though at 8:34.
Yeah.
We walked through the queue, and we were getting on the ride at 8:55. So you're really talking a 45-minute wait, true wait.
Right.
And we didn't have to get up at 6 a.m. We didn't have to get a bus on 6:30 and show up at 7. You know what I mean?
That was nice.
So just to let people know, if you're looking at riding this and you're not going to purchase a multi-pass and you don't want to wait in the middle of the day in line.
And then to be honest, and I would be curious because we did this with Cosmic, correct?
Yeah.
And we were there at once it was open and at 8:45, but before they let the 9 o'clockers in because you could see where they were waiting.
Yeah.
And actually our wait was a lot less because it was truly we were getting in line.
Yeah.
So I would be curious to try that between that 8:30 and 8:45. So like
Yeah.
the next time we rope drop, because then it would be a true like, all right, well, everything's open. They're getting people through. And if we waited 30 minutes, then we waited 30 minutes.
And I think if you're scanning into the early entry touch point by 8:45, you're still going to get to your ride that you're trying to get to rope drop prior to them letting in the 9 o'clock people.
Absolutely.
I think that's the goal.
Yeah.
If you get anywhere near those 9 o'clock, then you might as well not have shown up. You know what I mean? Early, in a sense. But again, just make sure you're getting there. I don't think you have to show up at 7:30 in the morning.
No.
Just make sure you're there.
But some people
you're
were.
Scanning at 8. I know they were.
Holy crap.
And again, those are the people that are probably, and good for them, that's great.
Yeah.
They're probably saying, I waited 15 minutes for test track. It was a walk-on. Did you?
Did
No,
ya?
I don't think you did. Let's talk about test track. This was probably the second time ever we had been through a test track standby queue, because with version 2.0,
right,
all we did was fast pass.
Yeah.
You know, so talk about the queue. I mean, the outside looks wonderful. There's not a ton of changes.
No.
New
not.
signage and all.
Yep.
There's a large portion of outdoor queue if they need it. The covering, I mean, everything looks great from the outside. And then, talk about the inside.
The inside reminded me of basically like what EPCOT is, where you go in and you start reading and you learn things. I thought it was super cool. And then you get into what now was the blown out designing your car.
No more designing your stupid car. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people probably loved that. But I know a lot of people who didn't. So we are glad that the designing of the car is gone.
I agree.
If you're sad about it, then get Mario Kart, because you can kind of design your car there.
Yeah,
So
there you
go.
Yeah. So, and that again was a learning, like there was stuff to look at, there was stuff to read. I think it's really cool. It's a great inside queue when it's really hot and 100 degrees out in Florida. Yeah, I thought it was great. And then you go up the ramp just like normal. And you go and get in these new, same ride vehicle, but on the outside, new paint job, new black vehicles.
I think, they brought back education and environmental awareness, which is, what EPCOT was built on.
Yes.
And everything in the queue feels like 80s, 90s EPCOT.
Yep.
Just newer, and I loved it. Like, this is what EPCOT has been missing. And now it feels like a piece to the puzzle is finally filling in, and there's more pieces to be filled, but it just, I don't know, it just brought something back that EPCOT has really, really been missing.
Yeah.
Ride vehicles look great with the all blacked out paint and like the white little trim and stuff. They look awesome. We'll talk about the actual ride. The track feels the exact same.
Yes, it does.
Because somebody did say, is the track still kind of jerky and all? Yeah, it is. 100%. So the ride smoothness has not changed at all. It is the same, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
What did you think of the ride, Test Track 3.0? It is, it's really, really different.
It is really, really different, and I absolutely love it because it is a true, just fun ride that, I mean, you enjoy the different rooms, as you could say, and it being like the talking, like Alexa basically, and other things. Like, it is just, I truly enjoyed it, and it is something that will be there. And if it's really not a long wait, I'd be like, I want to ride Test Track, because it is nice. It is a nice indoor queue. Again, I'd be like, it's hot. It's a 30, 45, 65 minute wait. All right. We're waiting inside, whatever. I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. I to be honest, 2.0, I was just tired of.
I was too.
I was sick of it. I was sick of designing a car, having to design a car, being forced to design a car, and wait in there. I know, first world problems. And the rest of it, it was boring. You were waiting for that door to open at the end, and for you to go speeding around the track. Because
to me, all it was, and this is how I explained it. Somebody was like, a client was asking, and I was like, well, the old one, you designed a car, and then you like tapped your band, and then basically they went through these things like testing it, like, oh, the brakes work. My car did better. Right. Your car did better. It's not like
it didn't change the ride. It didn't influence the ride.
No,
it did nothing.
It didn't. And it was just, again, it was just a car you designed and you were testing it. Whereas this is really different and cool. And the scenes, and then I did. Yeah. I thought it was a great addition to being, like Jeremy has said in the past, they need these rides. Man. You have, I don't know what you people want. You have a top tier e-ticket of Cosmic Rewind
right across the walkway.
You need something like this to be like, oh, well, it's going to eat all these people up. Okay, cool. Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want.
Yep. Agreed. And inside is more entertaining. There was nothing entertaining about 2.0 when you were inside. This uses some really cool technologies that I don't feel like we've seen. One of those being maybe the new Soarin' Flight of Passage type system with these giant wraparound screens that somehow without 3D put you in the middle of something that feels 3D. They took the hitchhiking ghosts sitting with you in your doom buggy to an absolute next level, which I think is super cool. And like you said, the onboard, oh my gosh, I can't even think of what to call it. The sound, what they're telling you throughout the narration. The onboard narration, again, if you closed your eyes, you'd be like, this is like 1986 and I'm at EPCOT again on some new ride. Like even just the tone in their voice and the way it's done, I thought was outstanding. Towards the end, there is a scene that is outdoorsy, but like at night, where you then go through a house. If they do an overlay for Christmas, just do an overlay for Christmas, holiday season, please.
It'd be super simple, super easy.
The only issue is you might have to go back and implement like a virtual queue or something, because everybody would want to get on this thing.
100%.
Because that scene alone would be incredible.
100%.
Think if you went through there and it was like a small taste of Osborne Lights back again.
Oh my God, I would die.
Yeah. I mean, that would be fabulous. So I say go ride it.
So now, one of the things John and Jeremy talk all the time, but John ended up telling us, and we would have probably seen, but the new Bourbon Steak over at Swan and Dolphin, which is at Dolphin, was opening, and we were there, and Jeremy went on open table. And on the 25th, I believe it was, because
it was opening the 26th.
Yep.
And they soft opened on the 24th. John had messaged me on the 24th. I mean, we were in the midst of like our Magic Kingdom and stuff. So he just said, not sure if you saw, but Bourbon Steak is doing a soft opening. Supposed to open Saturday. I was like, well, let's see.
And we didn't have any major plans.
No, we just originally we were going to go do the Edison for dinner. And then it was like, all right, we'll just shift that. We'll do a lunch. We'll change some things. So I went ahead on open table. Every reservation was pretty much available. And I went ahead and got one for that Friday night at 7:30. So headed on over. This is where Shula's used to be.
Which we never ate at.
And it was funny because we were talking. So it sounds like a lot of the servers and all that are there now were there when it was Shula's, because two of ours were. For sure. We even said, we're like, we never came here before because we heard it was so good and we just figured it was going to be around forever. It was one of those we kept putting off. So we thought, let's not put this one off. So we went and dined at the brand new Bourbon Steak. It is by Chef Michael Minya. He is a Michelin starred chef, has over 40 restaurants worldwide. He's got like, you could hear our hostess more. Is this the 8th Bourbon Steak, I believe? And then he has, I think she said over 70 some restaurants or something. Yeah, like 75
you did
restaurants.
Hear correct then.
Worldwide. So yeah. And he brings a lot of like his, heritage and upbringing and all these things to the dishes. So it's kind of just a slight twist on a very classic steakhouse, a modern twist on a classic steakhouse. So it's going to be like Yachtsman modernized, right? With that being said, how did you feel about the interior? Again, having not seen Shula's or been in there before.
Right. It was great. I explained it like this. So I did have, I guess what you could call a park shirt on. It was just a pass. It said pass holder.
We did, because we did not plan to go to anything.
But I did have my new, which I'm started to wear these skirts that have shorts under them. So I did have a skirt on with some tennis shoes. I felt very fine in that. Jeremy had a polo and some shorts on. But if I happened to be staying at Dolphin and had a very nice dress, I would have also felt very at like home there. Does that make sense?
I agree. Yeah.
Because it wasn't too fancy, but it was nice and elegant and in a plain kind of way. I don't like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like to the women that understand me, it was a plain dress that you could fix up with nice shoes, nicer jewelry, this or that. But also if you wore flip flops and you'd be fine. Like,
yeah,
the dress
Agreed.
still would look good. Does
Agreed.
that make sense? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's plain elegant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally blacks and whites. The walls are black
it
and
was
white. The tables
really
are black. There's no like white linen like a traditional steakhouse. But yeah, it kind of has that feel. It's kind of that open kitchen concept where you can really see what's happening there and as orders are going up and all of that. So I think it's a great layout. It's huge. We were seated far in the back right. I didn't see any kind of areas that could close off, but based on the way the restaurant was sectioned, it looked like there might be some areas that could be closed off for private parties or functions or whatever that may
We were
be.
at a cute little 2-top table.
It was
which
perfect. Yeah.
So it felt more private.
Yeah, it was a little more intimate.
Intimate. That's the
Yeah.
right word. And it didn't seem like they were stuffing tables in there.
No.
So you were right next to somebody going, ooh, what are they
Yeah.
eating?
Yeah, and there were people at the tables around us.
Yes.
But it wasn't at any point like, well, I can hear everything they're saying.
Correct.
Or, I can reach over and just grab their steak or something.
Right.
So we started off, they do have a wonderful cocktail, beer, wine menu. They have, was that where they had the peach smoked old fashioned? I think they said. We came across that somewhere this weekend. And I was like, that sounds delicious.
I know.
But
I think that might have been on the Edison.
oh, yeah, it was.
But it wasn't on the menu.
Yes, you are correct. It was a special peach, smoked peach old fashioned.
Yeah.
So somebody go to the Edison and get that while it's there. But they do have a couple of non-alcoholic zero proof selections. You want to tell everyone what those are because we tried 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and if I wouldn't have had a Diet Coke earlier that day, I would have probably gotten this. But also, it was our dinner reservations was at 7:30. But they do have what I did not get is what is called an Easy Money. This is Liar's Dark Cane Liar's Coffee, vanilla espresso. So this is obviously your espresso martini without the alcohol. And of course, the Liar's, again, I love that brand because how Jamie explained it, where it is mimicking the brand,
Liquor.
Liquor.
Yeah.
Thank you. We got a Fair Weathered Friend for $15. This is your Liar's London Spirit, lime, almond, or grate cucumber. That word.
People do love when you read menus, by the way. I did have a request that you read menus on today's episode. So that's why we're doing this.
Cucumber Fever Tree Seltzer. And then we got the Polite Company for $14. This is a Liar's Italian Orange Lemon Passion Fruit Fever Tree Ginger Beer.
Yeah. So I ordered the Polite Company. You ordered the Fairweather Friend. You
And
drank
we
the Polite Company. I drank the Fairweather Friend.
Yes.
The Polite Company, you can talk more about it. To me, was kind of like an Aperol Spritz, which I discovered in Austin. I do not care for.
I love it.
Yeah.
And this was in a cute little cup, and it reminded me of the over at
the Morning Manhattan.
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, over there at Geo 82.
Yes.
Yeah. It's that dainty little cup.
Very similar. And I really, really liked this a lot.
Yeah.
Thought it was great.
Yeah. The Fairweather Friend, first sip, it just kind of tasted like stale lemony soda water. When I mixed it up with a straw, and everything really came together. I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice. It was light. It was refreshing. It tasted like a cocktail. So I did like that. And I've found that a lot with different things. I mean, heck, I find that with trying to get my Starbucks coffee. Like sometimes you just got to mix them up, and then they get the taste that you want. So this is a very traditional steakhouse in menu. They do have a whole seafood section where you can get oysters, shrimp. They have like Alaskan crab legs at market price. If anything that says market price, it should just say you probably can't afford it.
Well, wait till we get to the desserts and the drinks.
They do have a seafood tower, by the way, which most steakhouses do. I have only gotten a seafood tower once in my life. We went to oh God, where was it? Was I forget what it was, but it was some baseball players' steakhouse. It was in Oklahoma City. When I was there for the Jay Billis camp. And Jay took us to dinner and ordered 2 seafood towers.
Wow.
And it's just insane. Like, if you got the money to drop, do this. Because it is one of the greatest experiences ever. As we were looking through the menu, we decided, like, we're going to split a steak. Right? We're going to split an appetizer. We're going to get some sides. Like, we want to try a few different things, but we know the focus is steak. So let's just split that. And then I wanted to try and keep it fairly classic to regular steakhouses. Something very classic at steakhouse is shrimp cocktail.
And that made our whole experience a surf and turf.
Yes, it did, because we're going to get a steak anyway.
Yes.
So St. Elmo's Steakhouse in Indiana, in Indianapolis, Indiana. When I was there for the Final Four back in 2015, we went. They had this ridiculously good shrimp cocktail, so I'm immediately thinking of that. Hopefully we'll go if we both go to the Final Four next year. But talk about the presentation, because it is not what I consider a standard. Like, to me, shrimp cocktail comes out in some sort of bowl or glass with the shrimp lined around the edge, and in the middle is your cocktail sauce, and all of that's usually on top of ice, crushed ice or whatever. This had a very different take.
It came in a bowl.
It did.
A very large bowl. For being a shrimp cocktail, all full of ice. And then these 4 shrimp, so we didn't have to fight. We each got 2, basically laid across the ice. And
they were stretched out.
Yeah.
And basically peeled and deveined other than the tail.
Correct.
But they were like laying out like they were like getting a suntan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then the cocktail sauce was on top of each and every single one. And then there was this like seaweed, like from literally
it looked like the stuff. Like I don't go into natural bodies of water. But when I last did, it's the stuff that gets stuck between your toes when you're walking through the ocean or at the bottom of like a lake.
Right. It would look like the stuff that Lucy was throwing when we were at in Austin. What was it?
What?
That ice cold water that we were in.
Oh, yeah, Barton Springs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff was floating all in the bottom of Barton Springs. And then they just took it out and put it on our plate. So I did not try it. Usually those things, like if it's a flower or something, I will try it.
Well, and it's supposed to be anything that is put on a plate from what we have learned.
Yeah, it really should
be edible, and you can eat it. Anyways, with all this being said,
let's talk about the actual
shrimp
flavor.
Were very large. You could not eat it in one bite, which was wonderful. This cocktail was $23. It does say it's a gin spiked cocktail sauce with horseradish. And I will say I didn't see that because I would have asked if it was cooked out.
Right.
Because I will say, like jumping to dessert and
everything involves liquor here.
There does.
All their food involves liquor.
We just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Bourbon Steak.
Yeah.
So what do you expect?
Yeah. So anyways, but these were really good. The cocktail sauce was fantastic. Yeah. It was great. It was really good. It was
outstanding. Like I was trying to think of, I can't remember the exact price. I think it was $24. Lucy probably knows and she'll hit me up. of the shrimp cocktail that they had at Space 220
Yeah.
that they used to, which was 4 shrimp. They were the size of a baby's arm. Those shrimp maybe were a little bit bigger than these, but none of these are boathouse shrimp. Let me tell you that much.
They were good.
And that was an outstanding shrimp cocktail they had at Space 220, but it came down to $6 a shrimp. This
Right.
isn't far off,
Right.
and it's absolutely perfect.
These actually reminded me of like whenever Jeremy loves to go, like we go to Jekyll Island and stuff, and the shrimp we get there, apparently they eat the sugar cane
Yeah.
that's down in the water, and they are very sweet.
Yeah.
This was so good, and there wasn't too much cocktail sauce where you could taste the shrimp, and they
Yes.
were on the sweeter side. I felt like they were the Georgia shrimp. It was so good.
I'm guessing I think they're probably butter poached, which is going to add a little bit of flavor and all to it.
So good.
And then they're probably, because it's a shrimp cocktail, they're served cold. They are going to shock them in an ice bath before they serve them. And so it maintains exactly where they need them to be poached
Great.
at. And
They were
that's why
great.
they weren't overcooked, undercooked. Just perfect.
Yep.
Absolutely loved this. I would get it again. Let's move on to the grill. We were going to get the 10-ounce center cut filet mignon for $69. They do have a 14-ounce New York strip. They've got a 16-ounce Delmonico ribeye, 32-ounce porterhouse, which still is only half the size of what John Candy's character ate on The Great Outdoors. They've got a king salmon. Like, again, this is classic steakhouse, even down to like the Faroe Island king salmon, right? They've got an A5 strip loin. They've got Wagyu rib cap and a New York strip and a dry-aged cowboy ribeye. They also have a tomahawk under a hay-smoked tomahawk for $208 or $5. I cannot see the small writing. My apologies. Under their steak classics. Also under that, which I want to go and get one time, honestly, is a Maine lobster pot pie for $82.
Yeah,
It's market vegetables, russet potatoes, black truffle brandy, lobster cream. And then they also have a prime rib under there, which the lady next to us, the older gentleman and lady, those adorable couple next to us, she got the prime rib. I saw her get.
there I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see where you're at. I was like, where are you?
So being a classic steakhouse, you're not getting sides.
Nope.
Right?
It's just the steak.
Sides are separate. So we ordered the 10-ounce center cut filet mignon.
And then they
for
have all these
$69.
accompaniments.
They do. They have a whole bunch of accompaniments that you can add on to it if you would like to. We did not get any.
We did
but
not.
Do you
like
want to?
half a Maine lobster for $42.
Yeah, that's not an accompaniment. That's another meal. Grilled prawns. They do have diver scallops, which I would love to do sometime. But talk about the ones that, a lot of places have these accompaniments. So
But
talk
for
about
free?
the 6 that they do have.
You mean the chimichurri?
Yeah.
The black truffle butter.
Yep.
Blue cheese crust.
Yep.
Béarnaise.
Yep.
Bourbon steak sauce. And these are like $8, $6, $6, $5.
Yeah.
And a red wine demi.
Yep.
Those are, again, $5 and $6.
Yeah.
And $8, up to $8.
Yeah. So again, we didn't decide to get one of those because you said it best when I said, should we? You're like, we're at a steakhouse. We should taste the steak. I'm like, you're right. Good job. Like if you ever go to a steak place and they're like, would you like any A1? You just say,
No.
I got to go.
Yeah.
Or honestly, you say yes, because I'm going to need it. You know what I mean? Like if they're offering you A1, you might need it.
Yeah.
So I just think of random stuff. My dad, he doesn't do things really he doesn't do things mobile or online. He calls and orders pizza still, right?
Okay.
And he calls Domino's and he will tell them his name, which is Al. A-L. He's gone to pick it up. He's had everything from Al, A-W-L. But one time he had them call out A1.
Are you serious?
Yeah, as the name. They called out his pizza. We're like, A1? And he said he just sat there for a while and then he's like, A1? They must mean A-L and it's Al.
Oh, God.
But yeah, just leave that place. They do have some fish options other than the salmon, like a sea bass and a tuna. I will say I'm going to steal from Lou Mangello, who he went that first night. He did say the sea bass was amazing, and he recommended it to me to get sorry. We're laughing at Dumb and Dumber, as most everybody should be who's our age. They also have a butter roasted chicken, and they've got a Wagyu short rib. Now, because the sides are not included, we thought, let's get a couple.
And our awesome waiters.
Yes.
Doug, Frank, and Carlos. So I did feel like we were on a cruise ship in this aspect because there were 3.
Yeah.
Doug was the one that we connected with the best.
I would say he's the main. Here's how I think it. We had a weird start, and then if you we probably should have. See, this is why we'll do some live dining reviews, because this is just the stuff we laugh at while we're at the table, and then it makes it's when it's more natural and we don't have time to think about it. It's just easier to talk about. Now that we're thinking about it, we want to laugh. Yeah. And while we're trying to get through this, but so Carlos had come to the table first and had give us menus and things like that.
And it's also the one thing we'll say that we talked about the atmosphere. We did not talk about the loudness.
It is very loud.
It is very loud, and I think his voice and the way it was harder to understand.
He was a little bit softer spoken. He did have an accent, and it was loud. So I don't know if that's what changed, and then it felt like Doug became our main server,
or this is the way it was.
We had so much fun. We really did. So let me try and explain this at all. So here's how I think it is set up. Doug was going to be our main server, who was going to do most of the things. Carlos was kind of on the cruise line, like the person is who normally might do your beverages or bring you some other things, check on, make sure you have your silverware. At one point, you went to the bathroom. Carlos, like, he was just hiding behind a pillar waiting. He popped out of nowhere, took your napkin off the seat, refolded it, set it nicely at your spot. So I think that was his position. And then Frank was like water and kind of anything additional, which is funny. So for some reason, we got stuck. The Skyliner was down. We had to make our way from Hollywood over to the Swan and Dolphin area and Boardwalk area. So because the Skyliner was down, I was like, well, we can do the boat. Like, we really never do those friendship boats between those two areas.
Good thing we did, because the Skyliner was down for some maintenance, and I don't know how long it was down for.
Like, when we went into Hollywood, it was down. We came out 2 hours later, 3 hours later, and it was still down. Yeah. So whatever was going on. But for some reason, when I make up stupid stories and all, I always name the person Frank. And Rhonda pointed it out. And she's like, why do you always say the person's name is Frank in these situations? I'm like, I don't know. So while
we came with two Franks, right? There was
so we're sitting in the lobby of the Dolphin, waiting for our reservation at 7:30 and just relaxing because we had been moving nonstop and all. And I was like, I'm going to go see if they have a non-alcoholic beer. So I went up, bartender, Frank. Then we go and sit here, and this guy's Frank.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to Carlos. And when he was, I don't remember what he was doing at the moment, but he said to me, I was positive, he said, have you been here before? And I kind of chuckled a little bit and said no, because the place had just opened technically the night before. Right. I later realized he had worked at Shula's.
Yeah.
So I think that's where, in my brain was going, okay. So I say no, and he goes off. And then we get Doug, who takes our drink order and all these other things. And we're only laughing at Doug because I can't stop thinking of Ragnarok when he had new Doug.
Yeah.
And so, because we had Carlos and we had new Doug. And at that point, we thought Carlos was missing. So we were like what happened? Like, what? Because it wasn't explained.
It was not until
soft opening second night.
Right.
Doug even said, we're figuring stuff out. Thank you for your patience. We're like, the service was first class.
It was
outstanding.
It was wonderful.
But again, it was some confusion. We're like, what happened to Carlos?
But he did explain later that we have three, and he did say all the names: Carlos, Frank, and Doug.
Yep. So did that. So all right, so we're sitting at the table, and Rhonda looks around, and we see these trio of French fries coming to people's tables. And Rhonda goes, "There's like a thing of French fries. I don't see them on the menu." And I go, "You know what? I saw earlier." Somebody post about this trio of French fries. I just through glancing, I didn't look at it. So I Google real quick, Bourbon Steak trio of fries. And it tells me that these are what they give you complimentary in place of bread, right?
And they're duck fat fries.
They're duck fat fries. There's three different ones. There's a standard duck fat fries. There was one with herbs, and there's one with a barbecue seasoning. There's then 3 dipping sauces. It's one of the greatest things that has ever happened to restaurants. There is their bourbon steak sauce. There is a ranch and then a ketchup. Regular, like, I think Heinz ketchup. They didn't try and go Uncle Eddie on it and, like, make it themselves or anything, which was good. So we see tables start getting them.
So I start messing with Jeremy.
Well, I'm like, I wonder why we didn't get it. We haven't ordered our food yet. We got our drink. We ordered our drinks and all. And I'm like, why are we not getting the fries? Like, normally they would have brought bread by now, and I could use that. So Rhonda's like, I think Carlos asked you, do you want fries?
No.
And you said no. And I'm like, no, he didn't. He asked, had we been here before? Which I thought was strange because they just opened. And she's like, I think he asked if you wanted fries. And I was like, you think that he asked if I wanted free fries?
Delicious free
duck
fries. Fat fries.
And I said no, and he just went on about his day. I think he would have said, I'm sorry, I don't believe you heard me. Do you want free, complimentary, delicious duck fat fries brought to your table? So we're sitting there, no duck fat fries.
And then,
right?
and then Doug did explain, like, everything, too, as far as then, like, the stuff that I was like, okay, then he would have said, we're going to
bring you these fries. No word of fries.
Did Carlos ask you? Oh my God, I was dying.
Nothing
because
about
I
fries.
was messing with him so bad.
If anyone's met me, I'm not going to ask about the fries.
Nope.
And Rhonda's like, I'm not going to ask about the fries. So in my sad little mind, I'm thinking, we're just not getting fries. And I was sad a little bit. So
it was so funny.
We ordered.
Yes, we did. And Doug explained that the way they like us to order, apparently,
they want you to order everything at once.
Yep.
And then they will bring it out as basically they see fit.
And then he said, too, with the sides, now going back to that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides there are that I'll read that he mentioned. Like when you order and he goes, and I can help you with the sides because I can tell you if that's too much or whatever. So we explained we are going to split the like surf and turf, split the shrimp cocktail. And then we were going to split the steak, but we were thinking of 3 sides. Is that fine? And he was like, yeah, because you're splitting it. He was yes.
He said, tell me the 3 sides. And when we told him the 3, he said, yeah, that will work.
Okay. He did say that.
Yeah, because I think if we had said, like, 3 starchy, heavy sides, he might have said, well, you might want to put a vegetable or something in there.
Yeah, so speaking of vegetables, there's grilled asparagus béarnaise. There is a loaded baked potato, all the fixins. There is cream spinach and crispy shallots. There are whipped potatoes.
You're on your own. I don't even know what that word is. Enrique butter.
Shire butter.
What's an Enrique?
Creamy mac and cheese and black truffle. Roasted mushrooms, garlic herb butter. Jalapeno cream corn, cilantro. Charred broccolini and preserved lemon. Everything is $15 except your creamy mac and cheese with black truffle, which is $17.
Yeah.
We wanted the whipped potatoes, of course, because you're meat and potatoes right there.
Yep.
I wanted the the cream spinach because you have said that
steakhouse classic. Every single steakhouse has cream spinach on it.
I love, and I think of cream spinach, but when I say it like this, I do love spinach, period. But I think of your spinach and artichoke, and that to me is like a creamy spinach.
Just missing the artichoke.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then there's the jalapeno creamed corn.
And the chips.
Okay.
Other than that, it is pretty much just like it.
So we got those 3 sides.
So back to the fries, because people are like, sides? Nobody cares, woman. Did Jeremy get his duck fat fries? So once we ordered, then another person, we had interactions with 6 at our table between hostess, our 3 servers, somebody who brought some food, and then the lady who brought our duck fat fries finally. Right?
Yes.
So they brought us the duck fat fries. Again, I can only deduce and conclude that they're doing that. At first we thought, well, maybe they want to see what you order before they give you free fries. If we sat down and we're like, we're going to split a martini and, a shrimp. They're going to be like, we're not giving these people free fries. They're not even spending any money. But what I think it is they don't want the fries to influence your order. Yes. Because it is a lot of fries.
They are.
It's a ton of fries.
And I had to tell Jeremy to stop eating them.
Yeah, it's 3 orders of fries. No,
Yeah.
I mean, really, like you almost
Yeah.
3 orders of sides of fries.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you got that as soon as you sat down and you just start noshing on those suckers, by the time you do get to the order, and again, they want you to order everything at once, so you're probably ordering later than if you normally did apps, entrees. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're probably thinking, well, we don't want you to fill up on these fries and then not get that extra side of mac and cheese or
Correct.
whatever.
Correct.
So again, might be wrong. I don't know.
I think you're right.
Our fries came,
Yes. Jeremy
and it
was
was
a little
everything I
happy
dreamed
man.
of. Everything I dreamed of. When I said the first one was plain, I lied. It had truffle, but it was such a light truffle
Oh, okay.
because truffle can be very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
The ones with the herbs,
They were
my favorite.
Yeah, they were my favorite too.
the I don't really care when they try and take like barbecue chip dust and put it on fries, but here I care because it was outstanding. And then while they were wonderful with the little dips, none of them technically needed anything.
I agree.
And that's hard with a French fry.
Yeah.
So these were awesome.
Yes.
And I was so thankful we finally got them. Let's move on to our steak and our sides.
Yep.
As you mentioned, we got the creamed spinach. We did the jalapeno creamed corn. We did the whipped potatoes. And then we did the 10-ounce filet, which we were going to split. And we ordered it medium rare, which is what we always do at steak places.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take over with food coming out and all?
Yeah. So, I mean, it all came out together. And when they put down the steak was sliced.
Yeah, they said we sliced it for you because you're sharing.
Yes. Is that what they said?
Yes.
Okay.
Doug said that, or whoever dropped it off. It was one of the 17 people we encountered. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing because everybody was so wonderful.
Yeah, it was.
Like I felt special
Yeah.
here. I really did.
Good.
Yeah, I really
Good.
did.
And then the tomato with apparently the barbecue sauce that was with the fry.
Yeah.
And then some crumbles. I personally liked it when I ate it.
I spit it out.
Jeremy did not.
Well, I didn't hear
So-
again, if it's selective hearing or I need my hearing checked, I'm not sure which
probably
one it
both
is.
do.
Okay. But I didn't hear the exact explanation of the tomato that was coming with it that you got.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a roasted tomato with this awesome looking breadcrumb on top, which looked like maybe it had some Parmesan, whatever in it. So I took a piece and bit into it. And then listen, do you remember the gum that squirted that had stuff inside? It'd be like you think you're getting a regular piece of gum and all of a sudden you bite into it and something squirts out into your mouth. You don't want that. And that's what happened with this tomato and like the filling or whatever that was inside it. Okay. So let's talk about the steak first and then we'll talk about sides.
Yes.
So it was sliced, which I
Yes.
did think was interesting. A part of me appreciates it because we are going to split it, but it's not as though it was sliced and separated into 2 plates that they then gave us. It was still on 1 plate.
Correct.
We each got our own plate.
Yeah.
Another thing I will say I love, okay, when they brought out that cocktail shrimp, it's in a bowl, which is filled with ice. Obviously, it's very, very cold.
Yeah.
The appetizer plates that they give us are ice cold, if you noticed.
Oh, okay.
Then, as the dishes come out, the plate that the steak and all is served on is hot. And the plates they put in front of us are hot. Your plate, your empty plate that he set in front of you is hot.
Okay, cool.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Because when they set everything down, they explained everything to us. He said, here's your steak, and it's done this, and we do this, and here's the tomato, the part I didn't hear. Here is the cream spinach, which, and they tell you about them.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there thinking, well, this is all going to be cold if I got to listen to a whole spiel. And none of it is.
Yeah.
Everything is piping hot because the containers they're served in are hot and your plate is still like it came right out of an oven. So I really appreciate that. Back to our medium rare steak.
I liked it. It was a 10-ounce, so it was like, because a lot of places, what is a fillet usually, like 6 to 8?
Yeah, 6 to 8. Usually it'll default to 6 or 8, or if you go somewhere real fancy like an Outback Steakhouse where there's no rules, it's just right. You get a selection between usually like a 6, a 8, maybe a 12 or something. So 10 is a good cut of meat, man.
And I thought, all right, I'm not going to want a 6-ounce anyways all by myself. So I thought this was fantastic. Jeremy could have 6 or 7 ounces. I get 3. That's fantastic. I did like that it was sliced for us. But I think, unfortunately, it was such a big, good piece of meat that when it was cooked, it was a little more possibly on the medium rare.
Rare.
The rare side.
We ordered medium rare.
I liked it. I think, unfortunately for Jeremy, because, when I think of a medium rare, I'm like, okay, well, it's warm in the center. It was not cool or cold by any means.
Correct. Yes, that is normally the description between a rare and a medium rare.
Right. I thought it was really good until Jeremy got into my head. And I think, unfortunately for him, because the steak was fantastic, I think it was just that tuna-like situation, because it is very and rare too. Usually means like when you do cut, there's blood on your plate.
No.
Well,
there's
sometimes there is with people that like one at Mooing.
Right, but that's what do they call it? Blue.
Well,
if you went under a rare, which really is almost like just take it off the cow and put it on my plate.
Anyways, there was no like extra juice and blood. I thought it was very good until
also it's never blood. It's not actually blood.
Right. Okay, sorry.
It looks like it is blood, but it's not blood. When you see that, when you buy a package of meat in the store and you see that little red stuff floating around, that's not blood.
Okay.
Just so you know.
This is a family show. Sorry.
Yeah. If you're a vampire, sorry to break the news to you. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know.
Again, I thought it was good. I'm sad because Jeremy did not eat as much as he wanted.
No, I did not. And, I don't think it had to do with me being weird or my brain or any. This was a rare steak. This was a rare steak, and I believe it more and more the more time that passes. And I know what they look like. Trust me.
Okay, so you don't like rare
cooked.
steak? Then you should have said something.
Well, here's the only issue I had with the service all night. When the steak, after he set the steak down, and again, it's not cut in like laying on the plate where you can see it, the inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so it's not like we can see
in
the
there.
inside, right? And it's a little darker. It's cut, but it's all layered together, so you can't see that it is rare inside, in my opinion. And sciences and thermometers.
You didn't have a thermometer with you.
I'm going to take one with me next time. So to me, this was cooked the same way you would get a tuna steak, which is a quick sear on the outside and served. Now, I understand a medium rare is still not taking sometimes more than 2 minutes aside or something.
Rare is cool in the inside, and this was not. But go ahead.
I know that, but you're still only going by a temperature definition.
Okay.
At that point, the middle of this, and not just the middle center part, because even in a medium rare is still in the word. There's still a rareness to it. This was one, not even 1/4 inch piece of seared outside, 1.5 inches, 2 inches of rare meat.
Okay.
Whereas a medium rare has more of a gradual still cook from the outside into the center, even though the center is still rare and is slightly warm. I know that this was still slightly warm. Okay. But you know what? It was sitting on a warm plate for quite a few minutes.
Okay.
So, only issue, after they set it down and left, I don't think we heard or saw anyone for 5 minutes. So, and it was sliced. Okay. So one, by the time they come back, and the rest, and I know that our sides were kept hot and they were in good hot vessels and serving dishes, but 5 minutes into your meal to have to correct a steak, which because it's sliced has to be cooked from the beginning all over again. They can't fix that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was one reason I just didn't bother saying anything. The other reason was you kept convincing me it was medium rare, and I thought I was crazy. And that I've been eating apparently medium steaks all along or something. But I did say to you, even though this was 6 years ago when I ate at Yachtsman the one time, I did not love their steak as much because it was cooked exactly like this, and I had ordered it medium rare then as well.
Maybe you shouldn't order medium rare at fancy steak.
Well, that's what I'm like. But why would there be that difference?
Maybe you should order medium.
Maybe. But anyway, I could tell from what I did eat that the flavor on the outside was outstanding. It had that nice seasoning and crust. I think if I had gotten the steak to a doneness that I like and that I prefer, it would have been an outstanding steak.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been the best steak I've had on property from what I had. But we can talk about the sides.
I thought it was really good because I will say, like, I ate mine and then, but I ate what I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't stop eating because Jeremy
Right,
kind of got in
and I
my
stopped.
head. I stopped eating because the steak because that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I ate it. I thought it was very good. You didn't have to chew it. I thought it was great. But the sides were phenomenal.
This place should be called Bourbon Sides.
It was so good. Every single side that we ate was great. The potatoes were good. We took it all home. We still have steak. Like, I could warm it up and eat it, and then it would be medium.
Oh, no. Tomorrow I'm going to give it a slight warm up in like some
Put it
beef
in a
broth
tortilla
or
or
something.
something.
Or I'll make tacos or something out of it. We did bring some home.
Yes.
So, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, first of all, they were some of the best whipped potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just classic, but just so flavorful. Mm-hmm. The cream spinach was just out.
And it was so good the next day, too. I just ate the rest of it the other day.
And again, all these are hearty portions.
Yes.
This jalapeno creamed corn and the cilantro on top was probably my favorite thing of the whole night.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
loved it. It was almost like a steakhouse take on elotes. You know, your Mexican street corn or even your street corn dip that you have over at Three Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that, minus the melted cheese on top. Had some nice thin sliced jalapenos in it. It gave it a slight kick. Like, I don't know the situation there. If you just go and sit at a bar, could we just sit and get 2-3 sides? Because I would do that. Like, that's I would want to get every.
I'd want to
other
get the mac and
side.
cheese. Yeah.
You know what?
The
After having
broccolini.
those 3, I'd try the mushrooms. Like, honestly, that's how good everything was.
Yeah,
That
it
I
was
would
good.
try mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because I bet they're outstanding.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
So they do have a dessert menu, which includes a key lime Napoleon for $14, a brulee Basque cheesecake for $15. They got a bourbon steak chocolate bar for $15, which has a peanut butter crunch and chewy chocolate brownie, which I would like to get in the future. Or they have Michael's on the rocks root beer float for $14. That is sassafras ice cream, signature walnut chip cookies. But they have one final dessert that we saw several people getting, and when Rhonda asked Carlos about to, she could barely get the words out before he said, "Get this."
Well,
one.
yeah, I was gonna do obviously between the brulee Basque cheesecake and then the warm beignets and dipping custard for $19. And he again, before I could get out almost the full word cheesecake, he said beignets.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. These are smaller little beignets. There was
8.
Was there really?
Yeah, there were 8 of them. No, 6 of them. I'm sorry, there were 6 of them.
Okay, I was like, that's a lot.
There's an illustration on the menu, and there shows 6. So I'm going with 6. But there was an even amount, which I appreciate.
Yeah. So the dipping custards. So it is a Macallan 12-year. What did they call it? A butterscotch pudding. A creme brulee with fresh raspberries, and then milk chocolate pot de creme.
Yeah. They're calling these dipping custards. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. We'll get little dips that have these flavors to them.
No,
like, you know, the fries. Little tiny dipping cup. No.
These were small sides of this. And so I asked about the 12-year Macallan Scotch, if it was cooked out because, you know, of the sobriety. And I tasted it, and it is cooked out, but it is still.
It tastes like straight Scotch.
It does. Scotch.
Here it goes down.
So with all that being said, we ate a little bit of that. I think Amy will absolutely love something
very strong
like
Scotch
this.
flavor, which I enjoyed. So I said, I'm not going to eat this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I didn't eat any more. But the creme brulee was phenomenal. The milk chocolate was good, but Jeremy ate all that.
I loved that. And you know, I still think you're selling these dipping custards short. Each one could have been an individual dessert for a person. They were.
I mean,
This was a creme brulee.
Yeah.
This wasn't a little dipping creme brulee. It had the sugar on top. It had everything. These were individual dessert sizes.
But they were smaller. I wouldn't.
That's fair, but they were not dipping sauces. You could eat these with a spoon, and they could have never brought beignets to the table.
That's true.
And you never would have questioned what was going on.
That's true.
Is that a better way to put it?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he did say, when he put it down, you get 4 desserts, basically.
Yeah, it really is.
So
it was the beignets on their own, outstanding.
They were very good.
The individual things, outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
You put them together, outstanding.
Yep.
I loved this. It was, and again, I want to go back and I want to get something else. It'd be really hard not to get those beignets again.
Yeah, we'd get the cheesecake.
And to be honest, if we sat here with some friends of ours, I'd be like, we're getting beignets. If you guys also are interested in beignets, get your own order. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, because I think the 6 smaller ones actually are pretty perfect for 2 people to split.
Yeah.
So
with all that being said,
and that
was wrapping up Bourbon Steak. What are your thoughts, and would you eat again? Because our meal without tip was $200, and mind you, we split everything except our drinks.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you eat here again, and would you do this again?
100% I would go back here.
Okay.
For a special occasion, for something you save up for, because yes, even splitting and it gets very pricey. And I'd like to go back and, try more things where one of us gets like that short rib dish and maybe one of us gets a chicken or a fish or something, you know what I mean? And try some other sides and all. But yeah, to me, this is that level. Now when people start saying, oh, where do we go for a nice fancy date night? Oh, Cali Grill, Narcoossee's, Bourbon Steak. Yeah, nice. I think 100%.
Perfect.
Again, doneness of steaks aside, whoever's that was, whatever, it's probably my fault. I mean, a lot of things are. But I loved everything about this place. Perfect. And this was on a second night of a soft opening. So I can only imagine where it's going to go. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to just do one quick wrap up. We made a stop at Yak Yeti before we came home on Saturday because Rhonda had a $25 birthday reward from the Landry Select Club that we belong to. We found out last year that the way those birthday rewards work is they become available on your Select Club account on the first day of the month of your birthday, and they expire on the last day. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting, and I wonder if they will be lenient because imagine you're born on July 30th. You know what I mean?
And it starts July 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you don't come. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't come till your birthday because you don't know that.
Right.
And then they're like, or you come a day or later. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like if you came a day after, the way we did last year.
Right.
We came like a week or 2 after your birthday last year. Mm-hmm. And yours was gone.
Yeah.
Because it only ran to the end of the month. So anyway, we wanted to use that. If you don't know about Landry Select Club, we've talked about it a lot. It's $25. You can get it at the restaurant, or you can go ahead and get it online before you go. Disney, it's got Yak Yeti. It's got the 2 Rainforest Cafes and T-Rex over at Disney Springs that it can be used at. When you get it, it costs $25, but you immediately get a $25 reward for your next meal. So that's a break even. Then you get $25 on your birthday month that we're talking about. And you earn points. So every 250 points that you spend there, you can earn another 25. So it's a great thing, plus priority seating. We got there not long after they opened. So I don't know if the Landry's card made a difference. Did you hear them say to anybody else that was walking up?
No, but I still showed my card.
Yeah. But we've talked in the past. We were there with Kat and Michael and Lucy and Caleb.
Yep.
6 of us, middle of the day, hour-and-a-half wait. We got in like 15, 20 minutes. So
and they were, again, I just showed it because I didn't know if there was a ton of people checking in and situations where, but
even then, they note that. And during our meal, we had a wonderful waiter,
Heather.
Kelly. He was awesome. But during our meal, both their 2 managers, Heather and Tom, both stopped by, said, thank you for being a Landry Select Club member. I just want to make sure everything's good. So it's a nice little extra touch. Mm-hmm. Highly recommend it. And they have restaurants all over the United States and maybe world. So it can be used in a lot of places. So there we go. But while we were there, we thought we would go ahead and try some stuff that is on their seasonal menu. Mm-hmm. One of those is actually they have several cocktails And it's really cool because, Yak and Yeti, it's not owned by Disney. It has this great, like, mom and pop feel. Like, they let their bartenders create drinks. And they're on this menu. It says created by so-and-so. And if you go up to the bar, you can actually ask for the secret menu. And they've created all of this. One of the bartenders built the website that the secret menu's housed on.
That's
like,
cool.
That's just super cool.
Yeah.
So this one was created by bartender Alyssa Pelkey. It's a watermelon sugar. It's non-alcoholic, coconut, lime juice, mint, and club soda. And it comes in a souvenir projector cup that is new.
That is cool.
It's delicious. It's a good summery drink. A little hint of coconut. It tastes to me almost more like strawberry than watermelon for some reason.
Yeah.
But I liked it. You get a cool light up cup. And when you take the little cap off the bottom of the cup and you hold it up against something, it displays this like Yak and Yeti logo on the wall.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Which was super cool. I was stupid. I did not take a photo of the seasonal menu, and I could not find one online. We'll just best explain what we got. We decided to split a dish that was a wok fried chicken and shrimp. This was chicken, shrimp. It had like some bell peppers, sugar snap peas, mushrooms, wok fried in a little sauce with some white rice.
Jasmine rice.
Yep. And then on the menu regularly are these garlic noodles as kind of a side. They're $12.99. It is a huge heaping bowl of garlic noodles. Very garlicky and very, very delicious. So we got one of those as well because I really wanted noodles.
Yes.
How did you think the chicken and shrimp dish was? Do you remember how much it was?
No.
20. It was. I want to say 30. Yak and Yeti's expensive,
but
every plate will feed at least 2 people that we've ever had.
Yeah, because we ate on this and then put it together to take home.
Yeah, and we still brought home a good portion.
Yes. So, I'm trying to remember. It was like $25 off. So I think it was still like 60 something. Like,
yeah.
It was. I mean, it's expensive
that's
because
the
we
thing,
got a dessert too, the carrot cake.
Well, you look at a $14 or $15 non-alcoholic drink.
Yep.
Right. You add a $25 to $30 dish. You add a $13, $14 side. We then got a $14, $15 dessert. Like it really does add up.
Yep.
Again, that's why I think this Landry's Club, and anytime you can save money, it helps.
Yes,
it
does.
I thought it was delicious. The shrimp, again, big, cooked perfectly. This light batter on the outside.
So good.
Really good, like perfectly cooked chunks of chicken thigh. Little sweet, little spicy sauce. Their jasmine rice is outstanding. Again, I've ate one thing here that I didn't love, and that was the duck. That time we went with Kat and Michael and Lucy and Caleb, and I'd love to go back and get it.
Yep.
Because everything else we've ever had here is outstanding, including a seasonal little carrot cake they had that Rhonda's not a big fan of carrot cakes, and you even thought this was pretty good.
The funniest part, though, was there was berries and stuff on it.
Oh, yeah.
And then 2 things sticking out of the carrot cake that were like sticking in the icing.
Yeah, that any regular, intelligent human being would have looked at and said, those are most definitely candied pineapple slices. And I think I'd like to taste one.
He put the whole thing in his mouth and started chomping on it. It was not. He then spit it out and said it's ginger. And I love ginger. Oh my goodness. This was fantastic. I loved it. I went ahead and took smaller bites. I could have put the whole thing in my mouth, but took smaller bites and ate the whole thing. And oh my God, that was good.
Yeah.
But then it made sense. Ginger and
carrot cake. Spice cake style. Oh, it did. Yep. I saw the other fresh fruit.
Yeah.
So I don't know why in my brain immediately was like, look at all the fresh fruit. They only candied one. No, but that's what I thought for some reason. And they chose a pineapple, which really doesn't make any sense.
No.
Because there's no reason for an acidic fruit to be on this plate. And that's why they didn't put one on it.
Yeah.
But oh God, this was good. It was so good.
Good.
I loved it. I told Heather, overall, I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not saying it even has my favorite thing or whatever. I think Yak and Yeti overall is my favorite restaurant on property.
Wow.
Like I still get excited about going there.
Good.
So
good.
That is that. It is a lot, I know. So that's another good reason we didn't include our Edison dining, which we did have a special Florida Fresh item there.
Yes, we did.
2 items actually, didn't we?
No.
And then a newer item, which is a Maryland crab dip that you're going to have to stay tuned Friday to see if this Maryland guy thought it was good or not. So go ahead and hit subscribe, and you will get brand new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. And of course, Rhonda and I would be very, very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it'll help our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.